Welcome back to another episode, another reaction. Josh and Tyler, you're up. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jane. Today we're going to be checking out the 21 Pilots story. So I guess this is fan-based, but it had a good amount of views and someone recommended it for me. So guys, let's just get straight to the point here. So, I've been meaning to, catch up on the boys, learn more about them. So I guess this is part one of how, they began their journey. And a lot of people are loving it. So, I'm excited for this right here. So let's just hit play here. I appreciate you guys as well.
LOL.
Stop.
What? Yo, he really said LOL. 2007.
Oh, which reminds me, BTW.
All right, so I got to pause it there because I'm like, that's definitely Tyler, and that is not Josh, bro. That is not who I'm used to. That looks like my boy McLovin right there, bro. Get him out of here. I'm playing. Let's see who it is.
Seriously, ever since you started texting a lot, you've been using all those stupid abbreviations.
Sorry.
Give it a rest.
LOL. August 2007.
Can I have a POS?
What?
Piece of slushy.
Yo, this guy has been like that since the beginning.
What you just watched there was the beginning of a video uploaded to YouTube on August 14th, 2007.
Wow.
What separates it apart from countless videos like it is who uploaded it to the site. On the left is Tyler Joseph, aged 18,
okay, yep,
who 2 years later would form the band 21 Pilots and 8 years later take home his first Grammy.
That's awesome. Wow.
And this is how it happened.
I'm excited for this. Hit me.
Tyler Joseph was born on December 1st, 1989 in Columbus, Ohio. His parents were both teachers who then went on to become school basketball coaches.
That's crazy.
Because of this, Tyler was more interested in basketball from a young age and carried this on into his school.
I never knew that.
He became a point guard. In fact, it was while playing basketball he would meet Nick Thomas, the future bassist of the
big guy.
Band. The pair even performed the national anthem together at one of their games.
Wow, so Tyler started it up. I knew that, but there was someone else before Josh. Oh. I did not know his voice went this hard. Let's go.
It was now that Tyler was starting to make decisions that would lead him to becoming a musician, as it was only after seeing the songwriter perform at a high street club that he chose to reject an opportunity to play basketball at Otterbein University, including the scholarship that came along with it.
He was good at basketball.
My parents didn't really see me being an international
That's crazy.
now. But to be able to go to college,
where they stole his car radio.
Getting some sort of scholarship, which of course it wasn't going to come from academics.
Okay, so it's his parents' fault that he wrote car radio. It all makes sense now. And I did not know he was this good at basketball.
So what about athletics? So a lot of the plan was to get a scholarship playing basketball, and that was actually the case. And I decided to
going sick, bro.
instead.
He started playing with an old keyboard that he had in his closet and began trying to recreate simple melodies that he had heard on the radio. It was during this time, from around 2007 to 2008, he started recording a solo album titled No Fun Intended in the basement of his house.
I haven't listened to that.
No Fun Intended is a really interesting album for multiple reasons. The first is the fact that it was never formally released. The only people that we know that ever got their hands on the album were close friends and family of Tyler and those who attended some very early performances of 21 Pilots. Due to this, we don't have a full track list of the album. In fact, one of the songs that the community named Going Down was only discovered in 2018, a full decade after the album was made.
What?
Have you ever heard the outside calling? Have you ever heard the trees
I need to listen to that.
their song? Have you ever tasted the ray of sun? And have you ever held the moon's glow?
Thematically, the album is also a bit strange, featuring harrowing depictions of depression and suicide on songs like Taken by Sleep and Trees. However, not every song on the album shares this theme. For example, there's track 14, which is Taco Bell Saga.
Man, I really like Taco Bell.
I like how I can watch you make my food. Drop it on the floor, I think it's rude. Man, I really like
That's my type of song right there.
With the inclusion of Taco Bell Saga, I have to wonder whether or not this is a real album at all, or is it just a proof of concept that Tyler did to see if he could make an album. I guess it doesn't really matter, as some fans of 21 Pilots currently treat No Fun Intended as a 21 Pilots album anyway.
That makes sense right there. So he used it more so like to practice his vocals, and just like they said, if he could make an album. And that's kind of what I'm doing with YouTube here too. You know, fun fact, I love making all these type of videos, but I mess around with everything. I'm new to this, the lighting, the audio, the types of videos, types of editing. So just to see if I could get the hang of this YouTube thing, which I appreciate the support.
And maybe rightfully so, as a few songs on the album were later re-released or part reused in official 21 Pilot releases.
Okay.
Now, this brings us to what you're probably here for, and that's the founding of the band itself. The band was founded in 2009 and consisted of Tyler Joseph as the frontman, bassist Nick Thomas, who played basketball with Tyler, and finally the drummer Chris Sarley. From what we know, it was actually Chris who was one of the main reasons why the band started. After meeting Tyler at a house party, Chris asked Tyler if he was interested in starting a band. Impressed by the recording studio he had built in his house, Tyler agreed, and thus the band was born. Big shout out to Chris. Big shout out to Chris. It was during this time that many elements that the band would be known for would be tested, like the use of costumes and acrobatics, all originally started as a way of grabbing attention of unfamiliar or disinterested attendees and promoters.
Oh, that's amazing.
Also at this stage, the band decided that they were going to be called 21 Pilots. The name is actually a reference to the play All My Sons by Arthur Miller. In the play, the main character has to decide whether or not he should send out faulty aeroplane parts during the war so he can feed his family. In the end, he decides to send out the parts knowing that they are faulty. This then leads to the death of 21 Pilots. Now that...
Whoa, I'm mind blown right now, guys. This is great to know. I'm definitely going to be, checking out all their music now. This is very interesting. Let me know if you guys have watched this before. Also, let me know where you were in 2007 and 2009. That's crazy.
The band had a name. It was time that they recorded their first album, which they also called 21 Pilots. However, from now on, I will be referring to it as Self-Titled. Self-Titled was independently released by the band on December 29th, 2009.
Okay.
They began touring the local areas shortly after. Marketing for the album and tour was very grassroots and basically consisted of Tyler's mother standing outside of Ohio State University giving away tickets to the shows.
What a guy.
In my opinion, Self-Titled is a pretty strong debut album. Sure, it's a bit rough around the edges, but it still manages to take all the best bits from the No Fun Intended solo project and give life to it. This is clearly seen on tracks like Fall
Man
Away.
Of many talents. This guy is incredible.
I don't wanna fall away.
Oh.
I don't wanna fall away.
Yeah.
I'll keep the lights on in this place.
We also have here much more cheerful songs, like in the song The Pantaloon.
I want to hear that.
Your grandpa died when you were 9.
Oh.
They said he had lost his mind.
Despite the cheerful
Alzheimer's.
melody, the lyrics clearly paint a much more darker image, and unlike the songs on No Fun Intended, here all the tracks work together in a cohesive way, creating, as I said, a much stronger album as a whole. In 2010, the band released 2 new songs, one being a cover of Jar of Hearts.
You know I can't take one more step.
Let's get it. Yeah. I'm about to jump in on this. Yeah.
The band also released a remix of Time to Say Goodbye.
Okay. Say goodbye. Love that song. I want to listen to this. Whoa. Yeah. Bro, why is that fire?
It's also rumoured that
That
this
was
song
actually
should have
really
been on the
good.
self-titled album, but was cut from the final release due to copyright issues. It's
Yep,
also
that makes
happens to
sense.
be the first song that future drummer Josh Dunn had listened to from the band. But before Josh could join the band, the others had to leave, and this happened on May 8, 2011, when Chris left the band to focus on work. Thomas joined him a month later on June 3rd to focus on his schooling. It was now when Chris invited his co-worker Josh Dunn to
Guys, if you're like out there hustling, chasing your goal, don't give up. Unless your goal, maybe is your job. There's a lot of great jobs out there, or school too, right? That's important too if you need it. But other than that, look at this. So they left. They were out. I don't know why. Well, they said why, to focus on, work and school, but maybe they didn't believe in him. They didn't believe in the end goal. But then entered Josh, which I was waiting for this. I knew that guy at the beginning, McLovin or whatever, was not him. I'm like, that's not Josh, man. That's Josh from like Wish or something.
This place. Despite at this point leaving the band, both Nick and Chris still remained involved with the band's production for some time after their departure. After he finished with his schooling, Nick came back to the band, this time taking on the role of merchandise distribution throughout the production of Blurry Face, and continues to stay actively involved in the band's tour cycles to this day. Now that the band had reshuffled, it was time to record a new album. 21 Pilots self-released their second album, Regional at Best, on July 8, 2011. While Chris and Nick were involved with the conceptualization of the album, neither they nor Josh claimed to have much involvement with its production, which was handled nearly exclusively by Tyler. It truly was an album to bridge the change between the two different forms of the band.
This dude is really a genius, guys. Like, much respect to him.
The album does, however, include two featured artists, who are Tyler's brother, Zach, on the track from Tyler's college acquaintance, on the track Be Concerned.
Okay, so I understand this part. So this guy who, big shout out to him, who made this video gets blocked when I play this song. So I have a link to it in the description. That's crazy. So I probably can't check it out because it'll get blocked on my videos. And I've had so many videos get blocked, guys, that, none of you have seen. A lot of them 21 Pilots related too. So let's just keep going here.
Now, Regional at Best is a very strange album, because just like the other songs I've talked about, it seemingly doesn't exist. Despite being a full album release coming after the band's debut, it isn't available on Apple Music or Spotify. However, unlike other pieces of missing music from the band, we have our fair share of confirmation that this one exists, and some copies of the album that are available can go for a lot of money online.
Oh wow,
I'm going to show you a clip of the band talking
of this
about
video.
the semi-lost album. Listen carefully to what they say. And afterwards, I'll tell you why I think the band aren't the reason why the album isn't on streaming services.
Is there a chance that we'll ever see the return of Regional at Best?
Regional at Best is kind of this like mixtape slash thing Josh and I created. And
so you could tell like this is a serious moment. Look at Josh, like, right? He can't even make eye contact, and Tyler's actually being serious. That's insane right there. I know they're normally goofballs, like me.
It never really truly existed in its full form. It was the beginning stages of a lot of stuff for us. And, I don't know if we'll ever get around to releasing it officially, but it is a work of art that is important to our growth and kind of a milestone for us. And so I don't even know if you have it. I have some songs on my computer.
Wow.
Old.
He seems pretty emotional when it comes to this.
Man, it throws it back.
Okay, so the video has been taken down by the record
The reason why
label.
I don't think the album is available anymore is because of a big change that happened for the band in between the release of this album and their next one, Vessel. In April 2012, the band announced that they had been signed.
There's a label by the name of Fueled by Ramen.
Okay.
Some of you have heard it, some of you may not have. But can I tell you that when we talked about how important our fan base was in Ohio and building it the way that we saw was the best way to build it, they've been doing this for years. And they said, we want to partner with you in what it is you're doing. And they're all here right now up there.
Wow, that's a big, big moment.
They're watching you because they want to know who is it the 21 Pilots is, because it's not just someone on a CD. It's not just someone you play in your car. This is 21 Pilots.
Facts. Let's go, man. Sorry, I'm getting too pumped there. Like,
because we were so encouraged by how for us and for you guys they were. Because you guys were too darn loud. I've been dreaming about this moment. Because you guys were too darn loud.
That's it right there.
A local band doing it themselves, just doing everything everything they can to get people in this room, and then the people in this room becoming
this is
the band.
crazy.
Because we break down stylistic walls. We want to break down what it is you think a concert is. This is not a wall here. We are part
it's not a wall
and
here.
what happened was,
You feel me? This is not a wall. Yes. Yes. Even though every time I get a copyright infringement, right, not a strike, it always says fueled by ramen, right? But, you know, big shout out to them. I get it. You know, I completely get it too. It's been like 4 or 5 videos already.
I think the signing of the band is the main reason why the album isn't available today. If you look at the ownership of the albums, all the albums from after the signing are owned by the record company.
I need to check them all
whereas
out.
The self-titled album is owned by the band itself. I think this was done so the revenue could be split by the original band members who are no longer part of the band. Because the Regional at Best is a bit of a midway point between the two albums, I think the record company didn't know what to do, so asked for the album to be pulled and some of the best songs be re-released, which they were in their next album, Vessel.
Okay. I'm going to have to check them all out.
This is just my theory. But what happens after this point? And how does fame change the band? How did the band deal with the added pressure of being owned by a record company? As well as who exactly Josh Dun is, and how his addition to the band changes it. As this video is getting long enough, all this and more will be discussed in the next part.
Oh, there's another part.
As well as discussion of their next 2 albums, which are by far their most popular.
Hey. Yeah. That sounds so good. Wow, guys, that was awesome right there. So I kind of want to check out that song right there, Time to Say Goodbye, but I feel like they'll block the video. It's happened so many times where I'm going to upload. I'm excited. It's, you know, the morning I always get up early too before work, and the video gets blocked, and now I have no content for that day. But let me know what you guys thought of this video too. I really enjoyed it. Feel free to give me more suggestions in the comments below. You know, lyric videos, interviews, funny videos, other songs. I'm still continuing that journey with the story. I have a couple more videos to check out. And that story has been amazing, guys. You know, if you haven't watched the I Am Clancy reaction, I really enjoyed watching that video. All right, guys. So that was 21 Pilots, the 21 Pilots story. And, you know, I was impressed by that. The way Tyler started everything. So, you know, he had a vision since he was a kid. So again, let me know where you were in August 2007. You know, I personally was, I think I had just graduated, if you could say graduated, elementary school or primary school. So it was definitely a long time ago, guys. So, you know, I really appreciate you guys for joining me in this episode. Feel free to give me a like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And, you know, after all that being said, you know, let's continue with positive vibes all 2025, continue chasing those goals. And I hope I see you in the next episode. Peace out.